দিশায় ছড়িয়া হবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন তবে হামহে রাম শ্রী বৃন্দাবন দিশায় ছড়িয়া তবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন তবে হামহে রাম শ্রী বৃন্দাবন
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Am I audible? I have changed my computer today, so just want to make sure.
Yes, Prabhu, you're audible.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances.
Accept mine over Prabhupada.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining this morning for our morning Srimad Bhagavatam session. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhav and then we'll discuss today's verse. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivakacharya Ashto Tat Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parvakacharya Ashto Tat Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Vid Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Anand Koti Vaishnav Brind Ki Jai नामाचार श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। नामाचार श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, तुलसी देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि बोलो। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. नमो विष्णुप्रदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमान् कृतदासधिकारी नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So today our verse is from Canto 2, Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 9, verse number 25. And the title of the chapter is Answers by Citing the Lord's Version. Brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam. Brahmā bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām veda apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam. Brahmā bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo avasthito guhām veda apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam. Anyone would like to recite, please?
Brahmovāca bhagavan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām vedehya apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else?
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Oh, go ahead, Prabhu.
Brahmovāca Bhagwan sarva-bhūtānām adhyakṣo vasthito guhām vedaya apratiruddhena prajñānena cikīrṣitam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Synonyms. Brahma Uvacha, Lord Brahma said,
apratiruddhena.
Bhagavan, O my Lord, sarva-bhūtānām, of all living entities, adhyakṣo, director, vasthito, situated, guhām, within the heart, veda, no, he, certainly, apratiruddhena, without hindrance, prajñānena, by super intelligence, cikīrṣitam, endeavors. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Brahma said, O Personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as the Supreme Director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence, without any hindrance whatsoever. Purport. Please pay your attention here. It's a very nice purport. So it will be as much as you can, in case you're not doing anything else. Please try to pay good attention to this purport. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the witness, and as such, He is the supreme director of sanction. The director is not the enjoyer of the fruits of action, for without the Lord's sanction, no one can enjoy. For example, in a prohibited area, a habituated drunkard puts forward his application to the director of drinking, and the director, considering his case, sanctions only a certain amount of liquor for drinking. Similarly, the whole material world is full of many drunkards, in the sense that each and every one of the living entities has something in his mind to enjoy, and everyone desires the fulfillment of his desires very strongly. The Almighty Lord, being very kind to the living entity, as the Father is kind to the Son, fulfills the living entity's desire for his childish satisfaction. With such desires in mind, the living entity does not actually enjoy, but he serves the bodily whims unnecessarily without profit. The drunkard does not derive any profit out of drinking, but because he has become a servant of the drinking habit and does not wish to get out of it, the merciful Lord gives him all facilities to fulfill such desires. The impersonalists recommend that one should become desireless, and others recommend banishing desires altogether. That is impossible. No one can banish desires altogether, because desiring is the living symptom. Again, desiring is the living symptom. Without having desires, a living entity would be dead, which he is not. Therefore, living conditions and desire go together. Perfection of desires may be achieved when one desires to serve the Lord, and the Lord also desires that every living entity banish all personal desires and cooperate with his desires. This is the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita. Brahmaji agreed to this proposal, and therefore he is given the responsible post of creating generations in the vacant universe. Oneness with the Lord therefore consists of dovetailing one's desires with the desires of the Supreme Lord. That makes for the perfection of all desires. The Lord as the super soul in the heart of every living being knows what is in the mind of each living entity. And no one can do anything without the knowledge of Lord within. By his superior intelligence, the Lord gives everyone the chance to fulfill his desires to the fullest extent, and resultant reaction is also awarded by the Lord. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and all the devotees will try to take some points. Very nice purport. So again, to bring the context, Sri Brahmaji performed the austerities for 1000 celestial years on the instructions of the Lord, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And then Shri Krishna, when he got pleased, very pleased actually, he appeared before Brahmaji and asked him to, to get some boon from him. And at the same time, he also guided what is the best thing to ask for or to achieve in this life. And then in the last few verses, we also saw why Shri Krishna got so much pleased. And he was showering his love and affection on Shri Brahmaji by touching him, by giving him the instructions, the beneficial instructions. And now in this purport, or in this verse, now we see now Shri Brahmaji is now responding back to Shri Krishna. Because in a loving relationship, there is always exchange. Not that only one person is talking or one person is only doing something for us. It is reciprocal. So Brahmaji, now Brahmaji is saying that, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart. So if we study Srimad Bhagavatam carefully, each verse is related to the previous as well as to the next verses. So why Brahmaji is now saying like that? Because Shri Krishna knows everyone's heart. Bhagavad Gita says that Ishvaraha sarva-bhūtānām hrideshu Arjuna tishtati. The Supreme Lord, Krishna, is situated in everyone's heart. Bhagavad Gita says that. And not only he is in our heart, he is also directing all the, he is the adhyakṣo, he is the superintendent of all the desires. Meaning, he is, this body, our body is a yantra. It is described like a yantra, like a machine. And of course, this body in its own is just a machine. But the presence of Atma, soul, makes it conscious, Chetan. And soul has desires. Soul want to do some activities. So Krishna, as the superintendent, as a director, he is sanctioning our activities. Bhagavad Gita tells us that. So if Krishna is sitting in our heart, he knows everything, then Brahmaji is saying that, why are you asking me, Krishna, to ask something? Because you know everyone's desires, right? So Brahmaji is out of love saying that, you know my desires, if I have any. So why are you asking me to ask for something? So the point is that, although Krishna knows our desires, if we have, he likes that relationship where we go to him, interact with him, like a person, and then if we have desires, instead of going to anybody else, we go to Krishna. At the same time, he gets even more happier. He is happy when we go to him only for any desires. But he becomes even more happier when we ask him to engage us in his service. That makes him even more pleased. And that's what Srila Prabhupada is going to describe in this purport, or he is describing in this purport. And that's why Bhagavan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave us this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When we are chanting, it's just not the murmuring of some ordinary words. Actually, we are asking Srimati Radharani or Krishna, how can we serve them? Through this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Which Srila Prabhupada gave the meaning that, O Radharani, O energy of Krishna, please engage me in the service of Krishna. So we are actually making this prayer every day when we are chanting. So that is what pleases Krishna more than anything else. Now, when Bhagavad Gita says this verse, Ishvaraha sarva-bhūtānām, Srila Prabhupada wrote a very wonderful purport for that. He says, Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead sits in the heart, directing the living entities. But after changing bodies, when our body is changed, we get a new birth, new body, in whatever species, the living entity, meaning us, forgets our past deeds, our past actions. But the super soul, Krishna is super soul, he is knower of all our past, present, and future. That's what he also tells Arjuna. That Arjuna, you and I have taken many births since time immemorial. But you do have forgotten your past actions, past births, past desires. But I remember each one of those actions, their motivations behind those actions and desires, not just for you, for each and every living entity. Meaning, just not humans, whoever is in whatever species, in the whole universe, in all the universes. Think about it. What a super intelligent computer Krishna has in his heart, in his mind. And therefore, all the activities of living entities are directed by this super soul. The living entity gets what he deserves. So living entity, this is an important point. We can desire, but we get only what we deserve. So most of us must have heard this phrase often. First deserve, then desire. So we get only what we deserve, and is carried by the material body, which is created in the material energy under the direction of super soul. As soon as a living entity is placed in a particular type of body, he has to work under the spell of that bodily situation. Very important point. If we were given some other body, which is animal, tree, bird, or whatever, then we would not have been sitting here discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. We would not be chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So everyone is given a particular type of body based on our desires and our karma, past karma. That is the rule, right? So we always say, we are so fortunate that we have been awarded this human body, because in this human body only we can achieve, or we can desire for the ultimate good of our life, which is Krishna Bhakti. Srila Prabhupada says in that purport in Bhagavad Gita, a person seated in a high-speed motor car goes faster than one seated in a slower car. Though the living entities, the drivers may be the same. So driver, I am the same person, but if I go in a high speed car, good quality car, I will be able to travel go to the destination very fast versus if I sit on the slower car. This human body is that high speed motor car. And even higher speed, or we can say, high speed jet engine flight, when we take up this path of bhakti yoga, then we are like moving very, very fast towards Krishna, the ultimate goal. So the living entity, the conditioned soul, is not independent. One should not think himself independent of Krishna, because we are always under his controls. Because who is the director? Adhyakṣo, director. There is a director sitting inside us, who is watching us all the time. Therefore, in Upanishads also, and in Bhagavad Gita also, another thing comes. Updrashtaha anumantaha cha bhrataha bhoktaha maheshwaraha. In this body, in our body, the supreme proprietor, who is that? Krishna, as Paramatma. He exists as the overseer and permitter. So Srila Prabhupada clarifies that although the Supreme Soul, the Paramatma, he's sanctioning, he's the permitter of our desires, but it doesn't mean that he's enjoying the fruits of those actions, right? Our actions. So we have to carefully understand that although he is sanctioning our desires, it doesn't mean that he is enjoying the fruits of our actions, or even if he approves, he definitely approves, but he might not be happy with those desires. That is another thing. At the same time, without his sanction, we cannot enjoy. So he's in total control. Like in Upanishads, the example comes of, imagine two birds are sitting on the same tree. One bird is eating the fruit on that tree, and other bird is simply watching that bird, just watching what that bird is doing. So that watching, that bird which is just observing, the other bird is Krishna, and the bird who is trying to eat the fruits from trees, different fruits, that is us, conditioned soul. And in this purport, Srila Prabhupada gives a very interesting example of drunkards. So the Srila Prabhupada mentioned some situation where in the earlier days, people who were habituated to drink, they had to get permission from somebody was appointed the director of drinking department. They need to apply the application. Not so anymore, but if still we see, if people want to drink, they have to go to a specific place. Specific facility is designed, right? Similarly, we condition people because of our desire to enjoy this senses of this material world. We are also intoxicated. Why? Because we are mad after our enjoyment. People in general, they are mad after their enjoyment. They can go to any extent to fulfill their desires. And for each of the conditioned soul, their desire is the topmost priority. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport. How true is that? If we honestly look inside our desires, our heart, don't we want to put ourselves on the topmost priority, or to become the center of everything? It's very, very powerful purport, and it's bringing up what is inside our heart. So government allows separate facility for drunkards. Similarly, because we have these material desires, a separate facility in the form of this universe, material universe, has been provided to us by the Lord. So what to do then? So those who are interested, who have understood that this is not the place, after many lifetimes, after going through so many actions and reactions, enjoying or experiencing the sukha and dukkha, happiness and distresses, when we come to our senses and realize no matter what we do or what we achieve, we cannot get that eternal joy in life. Something is wrong. We realize something is wrong, something is not right. In the heart, we know, especially all of us who are on this path of bhakti yoga, that's the reason we are interested in this path. That is, we know in our heart something is not right. There might be some enjoyments, some nice facilities, some happiness also, but in our heart we know it's not right. So if we want to get free of this painful cycle of birth and death, Srila Prabhupada says, and live in, so we have to look for that param place, param-dhama, the topmost place, param brahma, param-dhama. What is that place? That is the special place where Shri Krishna lives, the Vaikuntha, the spiritual planets, the spiritual world, which is free of any anxiety, any distress. Think about this. If we are given the option, choice to go to live a life and go to a place where there is no old age, no disease, no death, just happiness and bliss forever, then who does not want such a beautiful life? I'm sure every one of us would like to go to that place. So what is the process to go? Just like if we have to go to some other country, other city, there is a process. We need a vehicle, we need a transport system. If there are tolls, we need to pay the toll, right? And we need to make some effort to drive that car, put the oil in that. So the process is surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because that is Krishna's abode, right? So if we want to go to somebody else's home, we need to surrender to that person, meaning we need to obey the rules of that person, or they say the rules of the land, right? So we need to know those rules and that process. So in the second paragraph, Srila Prabhupada brings up about desire. Now we are talking about desires, that we have desires. Krishna knows all our desires and he sanctions them. So Prabhupada is mentioning the impersonalists recommend that one should become desireless. Now, he's also mentioning this purport that we cannot be without desires. Desire is a symptom of soul. It's the nature of soul. We cannot change anybody's nature, anything's nature, right? The salt has to be salty. Sugar has to be sugary, sweet, right? Similarly, soul, it is consciousness, chetna. So that is full of desires. No one can be without any desires. And in fact, there are 3 symptoms of soul. In the Bhishma Stuti also, it comes. What are those 3 symptoms of soul? Number 1, thinking. Number 2, feeling. And number 3, willing. So, but impersonalists think we are in this material. So the problem with the personalism is, or one form of the Mayavad is, that because they understand this, that this material world, we came to this material world because of our desires. That's the right understanding, right? We all know that. But the problem is, they think to go to the spiritual world, there should be no desires. Shunyavad. That's the misunderstanding. And Srila Prabhupada, actually, he appeared to correct this misunderstanding. Therefore, when we recite his pranam mantra every day. What is that pranam mantra? Namaste, of course, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. And the next one is Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. This concept of that Shri Krishna is without any quality, without any form, and he has no desires. It's a Shunyavad in this, especially in the Western world. His Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he ordered him to preach in the West. So without desire, one is not more than a dead matter. Just like this computer or smartphone or camera or mic, whatever we are using to speak or listen right now, these things cannot think on themselves. They cannot feel. They cannot desire. Even if we call them, these are smart devices, right? Some conscious entity has programmed, has embedded some programming in these smart features. Therefore, one who is conscious, which is the soul, that so living conditions and desire go together. One is called a living person when he has desires. They are complementary. So what to do then? We have desires, and because of our desire, we are here. So how to get out of this trap? So Srila Prabhupada gives the solution also in the purport. The perfection of desires. What is the perfection of desires? It is when we desire to serve the Lord. And the Lord also desires that every living entity banish all their personal desires and cooperate with Lord's desires. That's why Shriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he mentions in Shri Sikshashtakam, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kamay, mama janmani janmanishvare, bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki tvai. So in this prayer, Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that I have no desire to accumulate any wealth, nor do I have any desire of any beautiful woman or man, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. So that's what Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. What should be our desire if we want that Param Dham, a place where there is no misery, all happiness. So Shri Krishna sanctions all our desires, but thing to understand is that it doesn't mean that those are his desires. They are our desires. We are part and parcel, a separate entity of Krishna. So His Holiness Rasamrit Swami narrates a very interesting story of a donkey. By the way, he has a lot of stock of donkey stories because I think the life of donkey somewhat resembles with the life of these conditioned souls. So once a donkey met his old friend, Maharaj says. Somehow he found his old classmate, another donkey, of course, right? And they were very happy to see each other, and they were catching up with each other. How are you doing? How are you doing? They were asking each other. So the first donkey, he says, he was asking the other one, what are you up to these days, my friend? So second donkey said, well, very excited, very enthusiastically, he said, I am a freelancer. I'm enjoying life. I don't work for anybody. I'm under nobody's authority. I go wherever I want. I eat grass wherever I feel, whenever I feel, any field, I just. And how are you? What are you up to? So the first donkey says, you know what? I work for my master. he takes care of me. He gives me grass or things to eat and all that. But yeah, of course, I have to work hard for that. He puts a lot of loads on me. I have to carry from one place to another place. Second donkey says, "Oh, so you are a slave. Why are you stuck there, my friend? Run away. Become freelancer." The first donkey says, "Oh no, my master is very nice. He always thinks of my well-being. You know, the other day, his daughter made some mistake and he shouted at her. He has a very beautiful daughter and he shouted at her, 'If you repeat this mistake again, I will marry you to my donkey.'" The Maharaj says this is how ignorant and illusion people are. This is our condition. We all are living in the illusion that one day our desires will bring happiness. So the donkey took that, statement of his master as it is, thinking that one day he will marry his daughter to the donkey. And so either way, whether we are a freelancer donkey or this slave donkey in this material world, our situation is like that. Freelancer donkey is thinking that, whatever he's doing is right and he's happy. And other guy is thinking that he's slogging for that master for some, unpractical results or happiness. So Srila Prabhupada describes again and again that to purify our desires, we have to dovetail. Yeah, he used the word dovetail, that we have to dovetail our desires with desires of Shri Krishna. So this small book that Srila Prabhupada wrote, Krishna, the reservoir of pleasure, some very nice, wonderful points came about desires. So I will read from this book for the next few minutes. We cannot extinguish desires, Srila Prabhupada says. It is foolishness to think that we can subdue desires. Desires are the symptoms of life. Let there be desires. If I have life and consciousness, please pay attention, very nice point. If I have life and consciousness, then desire must also be there. Just as when the water flows down from the rivers, from many hundreds of rivers to the ocean is not disturbed. So a person need not be disturbed by these desires. That is the art. This is the secret of the perfection of your life. Desires may come, but if you are fixed with proper understanding, you convert your desires. Now he's coming to the word dovetail, convert your desires. The whole process is to dovetail your desires with the Lord's. So he gives the example of Arjuna, who desired not to fight. But after hearing Bhagavad Gita, his desire changed. He wanted to fight for Krishna, because Krishna desired that. So, and his mode of desire was changed. Simply, we cannot stop desiring. That is not possible. So let desires be. Desire for Krishna, don't desire for yourself. Now, desire for Krishna, he says, how can I desire for Krishna? So he gives a very practical example. Krishna came to this material world to call us. My dear boys, please give up all your nonsensical engagements. Become a follower of mine, and I shall protect you. This is Krishna's message. Now, Bhagavad Gita is present, the message of Krishna. If you desire to preach this message of Gita to the people of the world, that means you have changed your desire. So you purify yourself. So we have to dovetail our desires with the desires of Lord Krishna, like Arjuna did. And after dovetailing his desires, again, very important point. His activity, meaning Arjuna's activities became more responsible. Earlier, he was like a coward. He was refusing to fight, although he was a Kshatriya. But then, when Krishna instructed him that that is his plan, Krishna's plan. So there couldn't be better than his plan. So we become more responsible. So now we might have so many desires, right? Somebody wants to make money. So we should make money for Krishna so that we can donate for Krishna's purpose. We want to fight. We might have the propensity to fight. So fight like Arjuna for the purpose of Krishna, to protect Krishna's temples, to protect Krishna's devotees. We might have a desire to cook, right, on a daily basis. Then cook for Krishna first. Singing, sing for Krishna. Reading, writing, do it for Krishna. So the point is that anything we want to do, we can easily dovetail our desires into with Krishna's desire, but how to do it effectively, and making sure we do not do it incorrectly. So that's why it has to be supported by the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam under spiritual guidance. Because if we don't follow this process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, then we might be thinking we are, working or doing things for Krishna, but we will not be able to purify our desires. So that chanting of Hare Krishna purifies our heart, and it will purify the same desires. And the process of Shravanam, every day we hear Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna Katha, that will encourage us to transform those desires also. What is the right desire? When we hear the pastimes of Krishna with his devotees, we come to know how these devotees have desired. So what could be some of the good desires that we can develop as a devotee? That every day I want to chant good quality rounds. I want association of advanced devotees who are progressive, who are positive. I want to serve and assist the mission of Srila Prabhupada, which is not different from the mission of Sri Krishna. So when our desires are right, what happens? Krishna takes over and personally provides whatever is needed. Any intelligence, any resources. And most importantly, when Krishna takes over and our desires are right, we will feel the joy and inner satisfaction in our heart. Otherwise, if we just keep on, without spiritual advancement, if we keep on working, then we might start feeling some dryness, some distress. If we are feeling like that, sometime all of us go through that phase. That's a good time to check if our desires are right, number one, and if they are Krishna conscious. That's why sometimes we see someone will join very enthusiastically and serve very enthusiastically in the temples. But soon, before anyone realizes, they're even gone. Because they couldn't follow the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam properly. They just wanted to, the mode of passion was there. That's why Srila Rupa Goswami, that's mentioned in Nectar of Instruction, he mentions a very, very important line. I love this line. He says, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. I repeat, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. So somebody might have a lot of skills, a lot of energy and intelligence to perform some service. But if attitude, mood is not right, if that is not transformed, he doesn't want to follow the guidelines or spiritual authorities, then advancement will be checked. That's very practical also, right? In our jobs or organizations also, if somebody, his attitude is not in accordance to the rules, regulations, policies of the company, there will be problems. If that person will be checked, he will not be allowed to take, he will not have too much freedom to take decisions, right? And Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. Nectar of Instruction says. So why I'm bringing this point? Because when we say that we should follow the process of Shravanam Kirtanam under spiritual guidance, that has to be under the guidance of somebody who is well situated in this line for all of us, in this line of Srila Rupa Goswami. So therefore, Narottam Das Thakur sings a very nice bhajan. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bujhavo Se Jugala Piriti. When will I have this eagerness to study the literatures, the transcendental literatures left by 6 Goswamis, headed by Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami? When will I be able to understand properly the instructions given in those bhakti literatures? So for us, I mean, it means all of those instructions are coming through Srila Prabhupada's book, right? So are we able, do we have that eagerness? We should check. Are we able to understand the instructions properly? So that's why that has to be done under proper guidance and with proper attitude. That's what Krishna meant when he says, Sarv dharman paritajya, mam ekam sharanam braja, in Bhagavad Gita. That put all your desires, all your other activities, all your other dharmas on the back seat. And let them override with Krishna's desires. And to the degree we're able to do that, to that degree we become dear to Krishna and his devotees. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam stathev bhajamiham. And Srila Prabhupada mentions that because Brahmaji agreed or he accepted this process, this proposal, therefore he was given the big responsibility, very big seva of creating and creating this universe and the life in this universe. Just like after hearing Gita, Arjuna says, Karishyate vachanam mam. I will do whatever is your desire, Krishna. On the other hand, we saw Krishna also advised Duryodhana when he went as a peace messenger. He even showed his Virat Roop in that assembly. But Duryodhana didn't want to accept. He wanted to keep his desires on the top without any compromise. And he faced the consequences. So whenever spiritual authorities see that we are getting aligned with the instructions of Krishna, which are coming to us through Shri Guru and Guru Parampara, when we say Shri Guru, it means not just Shri Guru, our Guru as a personality, but the whole Guru Parampara. Our Guru represents the whole Guru Parampara. So when our spiritual authorities see that we are aligning our desires with the instructions of Krishna, they will help us by engaging more in the service of Krishna. So as we start getting more in alignment with Krishna's instructions, his teachings, more services will come to us. So we need to understand what desires are Krishna's desires. For they are coming to us through our Guru's desires or Guru Parampara's desires. Shri Chaitanya Namo Mano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yen Bhutale. So Srila Rupa Goswami, all our previous acharyas, Goswamis, they understood the Mano Abhishtam, the heart, the desires of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they gave up everything they had to fulfill their desires. That's where they were given the big service of discovering the lost heritage of Vrajamandal, all the places of pastimes of Shri Krishna, compose so many bhakti literatures which are respected in almost all the sampradayas, and to spread Krishna consciousness movement. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, on the desire of his Guru to preach in the West, he came and completed his mission just in 10 years. Because he got empowered, because the more we get in alignment with the Guru's instructions, the Parampara's instructions, the more empowerment is given to us. We become toy in the hands of Shri Guru and Krishna. I think we have already reached, because there is a beautiful poem that Srila Prabhupada wrote in Jaladuta, where he says, Nachao, nachao, Prabhu, nachao se mate. I'm just like a puppet in your hands. If you have brought me here to dance, make me dance and make me dance. Make me dance as you like, Srila Prabhupada writes in that poem. So these are the few points. And of course, the last paragraph is also very important, where it is mentioned Krishna knows everyone's mind, everyone's heart. Even before we realize our desires, he comes to know. He's the best CCTV or sonography machine or X-ray machine we can think of. And he's observing all those thoughts. It's scary if you think about it. Somebody inside us is monitoring, observing each and every action, every thought, every intention he's thinking. He knows. But because he still loves us, in spite of all the dust, so many negativity, so much jealousy, anger, enviousness, he's tolerating us. Because that's how he loves us. Just think about it. If we get the ability to read other one's minds or heart, it will be a chaos, mess. We will not be able to love anyone. Just seeing how much dust or negativity or negative emotions, intentions other people have. And even we might be ashamed of ourselves if we come to know, if we start realizing what we have inside us. So yeah, I think we can conclude here. Maybe next couple of minutes we can take a question or two. Any comments, any corrections? Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, Sagas of Prabhupada. This is a very opportune topic because I was just reading a reel, I think is what they call it, Prabhu, the one that comes like 1-2 minutes. Yeah. I'm still trying to learn these terms. By Gauranga Darshan Das, this nice brahmachari disciple from Radhanath Swami. And he mentioned a point that you mentioned in your class. He said that sometimes when we feel, especially new devotees, but he said it happens to new and old, when we feel a little bit shaky in our Krishna consciousness, or a little bit wobbly, not eager. He used the word eager, lack of eagerness, lack of enthusiasm, and all that. He said that when our nishta, when our bhakti doesn't have nishta, it's anishta, he says. That means we have to go back. Then he held the book, the Bhagavatam, Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya. He was going back to that, and he says it's because our hearing is not good and our reading is not good. So he was actually, so pretty much what you were saying in your class too, that when we are shaky, our hearing, our eagerness, our enthusiasm is not good. He mentioned 3 things, actually. He mentioned hearing, reading, and devotional service. He says, whatever we hear and read, we have to also apply it. If not, the hearing and reading becomes gyan. He was saying it has to be gyan. So he was, and I think even Vishugata Prabhu mentioned that in his class yesterday, that whatever we read and hear, it has to be applied. So I wanted to thank you. I really like this point, Prabhu, that Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his purport. The desiring is the living system. I really liked how he made that phrase. Prabhupada is the only one. Yeah, Prabhupada is the only one that can say something like that. Is, the desiring is the living system. And yes, it's true. Without a living entity, without their desires, is like no soul. We are dead. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Prabhu, I don't know if you spoke or if you touched upon this, but if you can elaborate, how can we change our desires from material to spiritual? How can we,
Yeah.
have the right desires? You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. So that's what Srila Prabhupada mentioned when he says, dovetail all your desires to Krishna's desires. And that's why, under the guidance of advanced devotees, when we serve, for example, any service, cooking, could be decorating, could be, even donating, right at the right time, right place, right thing. Any service you want to do, it has to be under the guidance of a realized soul. So that way, knowing our propensity, our nature, that soul, that guru, he knows how to, bona fide guru, he knows how to use our desires into the right direction. And Srila Prabhupada, that's how he started a movement, putting all his disciples, engaging them. Somebody is, bringing money, somebody is preaching, somebody is doing sankirtan, somebody is handling temple, somebody is going out for book distribution. So whatever our propensity is, and the problem is we might not know our propensity by, we might be thinking, oh, I like this, but that might not be good for me. So that's why it has to be under the good guidance where we discuss, we realize our skills and the mood. That's why I brought up that, because until we have the right mood, all our skills, all our qualities, they cannot be. There's so many practical examples we can find in our own families, our own circles, where person has so many good qualities, so many skills, but because their mood is not right, they are just not being used. It's a waste of their quality and skills, unfortunately. So I think these are the few points where we need to work under or serve under guidance. That's why it is a guru is needed.
I think Nupur is asking, could you please share your screen with the 6 to 7 points of Srila Prabhupada again?
Screen. If the purport, purport is on the screen. 6 to 7 points of Srila Prabhupada. Mataji, can you please clarify your question? Which points? Or are you talking about the bhajan? Because those are the only two things I displayed. Oh,
Yes.
this is the bhajan. Yeah. I mean, the beautiful bhajan. We don't have time. I overran, but we could have sang that. It's a beautiful bhajan. So I can
Prabhu, yes, I was gonna say, Prabhu, yeah.
On the chat,
she can
you
get
can copy
access.
that, and at your convenience, please read it, and you can definitely discuss next time we all meet any points you might have. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a beautiful bhajan, Mataji.
It's a very sweet bhajan, absolutely.
Yeah. Just for your pleasure, Mataji, we can probably just sing the first verse. Gauranga bolite habe pulak sharira Hari Hari bolite na yan babenira. So meaning is, when will I become so fortunate, so purified, that just by hearing or saying the word Gauranga or Krishna, the hair on my body will stand. That ecstasy will come. That is the meaning. So we have to reach it. That's the goal. Whether we reach it or not, that's the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our Gurujans. But that should be our goal. That is the perfection of our purity. When somebody just says Krishna and we are like, oh, it's an ecstasy. What can I do for Krishna now? Where is Krishna? Is he here? Where is my Guru Maharaj? Where are devotees? Where can I meet them? How can I go to them? How can I hear more Harikatha? How can I chant more? So that's the perfection. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so if no more questions, no more points, we can conclude today. And we'll see all of you on this Sunday evening at the temple. 4:30 p.m. and of course Monday morning for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for the service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.